Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt that specific type of frustration where you have a library of English words locked inside your brain? Maybe 3 or even 4,000 words that you've memorized for years. But the moment someone looks at you and simply asks, "How was your day?" you completely freeze. The words are there, you know them, but the bridge between your brain and your mouth is broken. It feels like you're trapped behind a glass wall. What if I told you that the problem isn't that you don't know enough words? What if the problem is actually that you were trying to use too many? Today, we are going to flip your learning strategy upside down. Welcome. Today, we are going to strip away the complexity of language learning. You see, most English learners are obsessed with numbers. They wear their vocabulary size like a badge of honor. They say, "I know 3,000 words," or "I just bought a book with the 4,000 essential English words." But then when it comes to the real world, traveling, working, or just chatting, they panic. Why does this happen? It happens because fluency is not about how many words you can recognize on a piece of paper. Fluency is about accessibility. It is about how fast your brain can retrieve a word and put it into a sentence without you having to pause and calculate. Think of your brain like a library. If you have a massive library with thousands of books thrown on the floor in a pile, you can never find the book you want when you need it. But if you have a small shelf with just 500 of your favorite books organized perfectly, you can grab any of them in a split second. That is the difference between memorization and mastery. Linguists and language experts have found something fascinating. In almost any language, including English, the 500 most frequently used words account for roughly 65% of all daily conversation. If you bump that up to 1,000 words, you are covering nearly 90% of everything we say in normal life. This means that if you stop trying to memorize obscure, difficult words and instead focus purely on mastering these core 500 words, learning their sounds, their rhythms, and how they connect, you can handle almost any situation. The goal here is to stop translating. I know many of you are searching for the secret on how to stop translating in your head, and the answer isn't more vocabulary. The answer is deepening your relationship with the simple vocabulary you already have. Let's look at why the traditional method fails. Usually, a student buys a big vocabulary book. They sit down with a highlighter and spend hours underlining definitions. They learn words like abundant, meticulous, or astonishing. These are great words, but they're decoration. They're the paint on the house, not the bricks. When you meet a native speaker, they aren't going to ask you for a definition of meticulous. They're going to say, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" If you haven't mastered the simple rhythm of "how is it going," you will panic. Your brain doesn't store language as isolated lists. Your brain stores patterns. It stores chunks. So, how do we fix this? We need to change how you input data into your brain. If you learn the word take and you only memorize the definition to carry something, you will sound like a robot. You'll never sound natural. But if you learn the collocations, the words that naturally live together, everything changes. You don't just take, you take your time. You take a break. You take responsibility. You take care. When you learn these chunks, your brain and your mouth remember them as one single unit. You don't have to think about the grammar or the individual definitions. You just say, "Take care." That is automaticity. That is the foundation of fluency. Let's break this down into an actionable plan for you. Step 1. Select your core. Start with a standard list of the 500 most common words, but here's the trick. You need to personalize it. A generic list is boring. Your brain hates boring. If you're a nurse, your core words need to include patient, health, pain, and medicine. If you love cooking, your core words must include recipe, taste, boil, and chop. By connecting the vocabulary to your actual identity and your daily life, you create an emotional hook. This emotion helps your brain glue the information into your long-term memory. Step 2. Learn in context. Never study a word alone. This is the golden rule. If you write down a word in your notebook, you must, and I mean must, write it inside a full sentence. Instead of writing arrive equals to come to a place, write I usually arrive home at 6 p.m. Then you need to engage your senses. Say it out loud. Hear your own voice saying it. Feel the rhythm of the sentence. If you can, record yourself on your phone and listen back. This repetition builds the muscle memory in your mouth. Step 3. Connection. Connect the new to the old. You don't need complex grammar rules to build sentences. You just need to link your core words together. Let's say you learn the words go, work, early, because, and traffic. Don't just stare at them, combine them. I go to work early because of traffic. It's simple, it's effective. The next day you learn train and ticket, so you modify the sentence, I go to work early because the train ticket is cheaper. Do you see what's happening? You aren't memorizing specific rules, you are building distinct blocks of meaning. You're creating language, not just studying it.
Step 4. The storytelling habit. Step 4. The weekly story. This is where we solidify the knowledge. Once a week, I want you to write or speak a tiny story using only your core words. It doesn't have to be a novel. It can be, yesterday I went to the store, I bought milk and bread, I walked home and made dinner. This sounds basic, but this is real English. This is built on high-frequency usage. By doing this, you are proving to your brain that you can communicate a full narrative without needing a dictionary. The 80-20 routine. Now, let's talk about your daily routine. We are going to apply the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This means that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. You don't need to study for 4 hours a day. In fact, long, irregular study sessions are worse than short, consistent ones. We need a sustainable rhythm. Here is your new daily plan. In the morning, 5 minutes. Review the sentences you wrote yesterday. Don't just read them with your eyes. Speak them while you are making coffee or brushing your teeth. Wake up your English muscles. In the afternoon, 5 minutes. Input time. Listen to a short clip of English. It could be a podcast, a YouTube short, or a song. Your goal is simply to recognize your core words in the wild. When you hear a word you know, acknowledge it. This validates your learning. In the evening, 5 minutes. Output time. This is crucial. Write a short paragraph or record a voice note about your day using your specific words. Maybe tell a 1-minute story about what you ate or who you met. That is 15 minutes a day. That's it. But because it is consistent, it signals to your brain that this skill is important. Overcoming the fear. Let's be honest for a moment. Learning a language can feel incredibly lonely. There are days when you will feel stuck. You might look at other people and think, why are they so fast? Why am I so slow? You might feel shy or afraid of making mistakes. I want you to know that this feeling is normal. Every single bilingual person you admire has felt that exact same fear. But this 500-word method is the cure for that fear, because when you focus on a smaller, manageable goal, the pressure disappears. You aren't trying to climb Mount Everest in one day. You are just trying to walk down a clear path. Every time you understand a text message, every time you order a coffee correctly, every time you catch a joke in a movie, that is a win. Those small wins release dopamine in your brain. That chemical reaction makes you feel good. It makes you feel proud, and it makes you want to keep going. The evolution of learning. Eventually, something magical happens. We call it the snowball effect. At first, making the snowball is hard. You're packing the snow together, it's cold and it's small, but once you start rolling it, it picks up more snow automatically. It gets bigger and faster with less effort. Your English is the snowball. The first 50 days are you packing the snow. It feels slow, but suddenly you hit a point where you stop translating, you stop studying, and you start living in English. You read an Instagram caption and you just understand it. You listen to a song and the lyrics make sense instantly. You might even catch yourself dreaming in English. That is when you know the snowball is rolling on its own. You will realize that you have mastered the essentials. You have essentially downloaded the 500 common words you need to speak English fluently directly into your subconscious, and once they're there, no one can take them away from you. The challenge. So here's my invitation to you. Let's stop overcomplicating this. Let's stop worrying about the thousands of words we don't know and start mastering the few hundred that we do need. I want you to start today, not tomorrow, today. Open a note on your phone. Write down 10 common words like go, have, want, time, good. Write one short paragraph about your day using them and read it out loud 3 times. Tomorrow, add 5 more words. Do this for 50 days. I promise you, if you stick to this simple habit, in 2 months, you won't just know more English. You will feel different. You will feel lighter. You will feel confident. You will have the freedom to travel, to connect, and to express who you truly are to the world. Conclusion and CTA. Language isn't just a subject to study. It's a tool to unlock the world, and you already have the keys. You just need to start turning them. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found value in this simple approach to fluency, please hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more learners like you who are stuck in the translation trap. And if you are ready to transform your language journey, make sure to subscribe to English Glow. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep glowing. I'll see you in the next video.